Hey everyone, I just did a video earlier this week and my plan was to possibly do another one next week, the end of next week, but as you all know, sometimes things don't go as planned, and that's exactly what happened with me today. And I've decided to do a video today, and the theme will be the myths of witchcraft. And what I mean by the myths of witchcraft is the truths of it and the non-truths. And the reason I decided to do another video so soon is because I had a conversation with a young lady today, and she's a teenager. She's trying to find herself, and she's trying to find her way, her path. And I've known this young lady for some time, since she was a little girl. And she knows that I'm pagan. She knows that I practice witchcraft, but she's never really asked me questions or seemed to be interested in my beliefs. And you know, I don't advertise, but yet I don't hide it either, you know, and I don't push it off on anyone. You know, if you ask me, you know, I'm all for telling you, but I'm not gonna seek you out and hunt you down and shove it down your throat. You know, no, I'm not gonna do that. But this young lady, she came to me and she asked me if I would talk to her pertaining to witchcraft. And I told her, you know, I had no problem at all. And I asked her, you know, why the sudden interest, and she explained to me that she's trying to find herself. And, you know, that made me happy because, you know, I remember when I was young, and I remember when I felt like I was lost, and, you know, I was trying to find my way. And, you know, we all go through that stage of life. And, you know, it would be so much easier if we had someone we could go to and ask questions and talk to. And, you know, if someone that we could trust that would, you know, offer us tips and give us advice, you know, it would make life so much easier. And so I was actually honored that she asked me, and I was very happy to, you know, help her. And but then, you know, I thought, and I told her, I said, okay, I said, you know, I have no problem doing this. You know, I'm honored that you want to ask me questions and you're interested. I said, but before we sit down and we speak one word, I said, we need to find your mom and make sure that she has no problem with, you know, me talking to you about this. And, you know, she's a young girl, and she was like, oh no, you know, I'm almost 18, you know, I can talk to you about anything. And I told her, I said, well, out of respect, and, you know, let's do the right thing. And I just wanted to point that out to say that anytime, you know, a child comes to you and they show interest in your beliefs or in your craft, you know, there's nothing wrong with that, because I, you know, picked up on my craft as a child. I mean, I was a very, very young child, as a matter of fact. And luckily, my grandmother was there to teach me and to guide me and to show me. But some people aren't that lucky, you know. There's a lot of kids out there that don't have anyone to, you know, to help them, to show them, to teach them. So, you know, with that being said, I went to the mom, and luckily the mom is very open-minded, and she had no problem whatsoever with us having this conversation. And so we did. And I was thinking that if this, you know, young lady had these questions for me, if these things were weighing in heavy on her mind and her heart, I know there's got to be someone else out there that's struggling with these same, you know, things. And I'm at work, so if I get an interruption, I may have to pause it for a moment, but don't worry, we'll resume it right where we left off. But I'm going to try to wrap this one up a little quicker than most because I'm at work, but I've got to put it out there. I've just got to put it out there. It was placed upon my heart to do so. But I've done lost my train of thought. This young lady, if she's got these questions, you know, and she's got this need to find herself, I'm certain someone else out there, especially a younger person, you know, they're out there and they're searching, they're lost, they're looking, you know, and it doesn't even have to be a young person. It can be an older person. It can be someone that's been practicing for years, because, you know, I've been practicing for many years and I'm still learning things, and sometimes I'm surprised at the little simple things that I learn, and I'm like, I can't believe I didn't know that. I can't believe I've been pronouncing that wrong all these years. I can't believe I didn't know you could use this for that, or you can't use this for that. I mean, I'm always learning. Every day I'm learning. So, with that being said, I know there's someone out there that's experiencing the same thing that this young lady is experiencing. So I had to do this video, and I really truly hope that someone out there can resonate with it, and someone out there learns something or gets something, anything from it. And those words, those very words that someone out there may get something out of this video, those are simply going to be the intention that I'm setting with our candle. And that is that someone out there will get something from this video. Something that we say today will reach someone and will teach someone, show someone, help someone, you know. And that's, I mean, that could be our intention each and every time, because that's the purpose of these videos. And, you know, why not? That's, you know, that's the best intention ever, to learn, to grow. You know, that's what we're supposed to be doing anyway. And as always, I brought a couple stones, and I'm gonna, you know, mention them quickly because I'm trying to move along. But I brought this piece of quartz. It's a quartz geode. And I just thought, you know, it's a good stone to calm your spirit, to calm your mind. It helps you learn spiritually. So I thought it would be a perfect piece to include, you know, when we are talking about the myths of witchcraft, and, you know, we set an intention of hoping someone would get something out of this video, you know, to help them find their way, to find their path. So I figured this was the perfect stone to include. And I also brought a seashell. Seashells are good for cleansing. They're good for healing. You know, the ocean, they have a water property. The ocean is the hugest and best body of water to heal. You know, it's just full of healing energy. And if I'm stumbling on my words today, I apologize. I've been doing it all day. I don't know what's going on with me. And you can pick up vibes to help you with self-love from seashells. And I think when you are trying to find your way, trying to find your craft, your path, you know, you've got to have self-love. Because no matter what you're doing or who you're doing it with or where you're doing it at, if you can't love yourself, how do you expect to love someone else? How do you expect to express love to, you know, you've got to love yourself. You've got to put yourself first in all that you do, you know, not just spiritually, not just in your craft, but in life in general. You've got to put yourself first, and you've got to love yourself. And I know sometimes I may sound like a broken record because I say the same things over and over, but I feel that these things are really important, and the reason I'm saying them over and over is because they're really important. And last but not least, I brought a raw piece of moonstone, and it's not a very big piece, but it's not the size, you know, of the stone. It's the property that, you know, it has. The energy is, you know, the littlest thing in the world can produce the biggest energy, you know. So it has nothing to do with size. But I included the moonstone because it's a stone of new beginnings. It's a stone of inner growth, of strength, inner strength, excuse me. And I just thought, you know, that right there, this is a really good one. In fact, if we had no other stone while we discussed this topic, I would say we needed the moonstone. But you guys know I always have to include stones, even if it's just for a very few minutes. And so let's get this show on the road. I just want to start by saying, you know, magic. You know, magic simply is raising and directing energy to obtain your intentions. That's all magic is, you know. And magic is key in spell work, and spell work is key in paganism and witchcraft. And so one of the main things that I discussed with this young lady was magic, and her belief in magic and work in magic. And you know, she asked me, you know, that's how the conversation started, you know, what is magic? So, you know, raising and directing your energy to obtain your intentions, you know. And like I told her, you know, you need to, you know, get up and do something for yourself. You can't expect someone to tell you everything, give you everything, and show you everything. But it is helpful if they do those things. But you've got to do your own research. You've got to do your own homework, you know. It's a great idea to research things yourself, because you're going to learn better when you're, you know, doing it yourself. You're going to understand it better when you're reading it and you're writing it and you're seeing it, you know. Just like when you go to school, you know, and you do your schoolwork, you know, it's along the same lines. And, you know, you don't have to have special training to do spell work. And that was her next question, you know, how can I do spell work if I've never been trained? And I'm like, this isn't a job, baby. This, you know, this is a way of life. You don't have to have any special training to practice witchcraft or do magic or do spell work, you know. All you do is, number one, you always follow your heart. You always follow your heart. And, you know, all a spell really is setting your intentions and doing so with the ritual. You know, like I always say, you know, you don't need anything at all to do spell work except yourself. That's all you need, because it's all within you. It's all in your heart, and it's, you know, your intention is key. But I also taught this young lady that, you know, when you're doing spell work and, you know, doing magic, that it's nothing complicated to it. You've got to be smart, and you've got to do things right, and you've got to stay positive, all of that, yes, but it's nothing complicated at all. And, you're simply harnessing energy from the universe, and you're taking that energy and you're using it to get your intentions, to manifest them. That's what you're doing, and that's where the ritual part of the spell comes in. You're doing those things to enhance what you already have within you, to manifest your intention, and then she started asking me, well, what if I don't have money to buy all these nice things and, all these stones? And she said, you have a lot of stones. And she said, I think I have 2 that you gave me years ago. And, I told her, I said, you don't need nothing fancy. You don't need no expensive tools or ingredients. All you need is yourself. All you need is yourself. That is it. But it's so easy to forget, yourself, your most powerful piece of tools, your most powerful ingredient is you. You possess the power. You are the most powerful thing involved in that spell work. You. And, if you don't have money to buy these things and you still want them, or you feel like you need them, that's fine too. You can make a lot of your tools. I still do that today. Even when I have extra money that I could go and buy things or order things, I still make them, because, that energy that's coming from you that you're putting into that tool, you're making it with your hands, that's going to be one of your most powerful tools, is, the one that you make because you made it. And, the ingredients, you can go out and you can gather wild flowers, you can go out and gather wild herbs. If you want to use stones and you don't have the money to go buy stones, you can go on a hike or a walk, or just go out in the woods like I do, and you'll find some stones. You're going to find some, and sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll find a piece of quartz, or you'll find a piece of jasper, and that's wonderful. But if you just find a regular old rock out the yard, you can anoint it. You can put your intention in that, and you can use that. And I also told her, you can take things like household things that aren't even intended to be used in spell work. You can take old jars and clean them up and use them. You can take go in your cabinet and gather up all the spices that can be used, salt, pepper, garlic, cloves, oregano, basil, thyme. You can find what you need, without spending a dime. And, it may not be the pretty things, it may not be the fancy things, it may not be the things you see online or in catalogs, but I promise you it doesn't matter. They're still going to work as long as you have put your energy in them, your intention in them, you have anointed them, and, first cleanse them, always cleanse them, but, then anoint them, and, put your intention in them, and they will work just as good, I promise you. Maybe even better, especially if it's something that you made with your own 2 hands, from the sweat from the brow of your head, they're going to work the best. And she asked me, are witches only women? And I'm like, no, baby, witches are men too. Witches are women, witches are men. Witches are adults, witches are children. It's not it's not gender related, it's not age related, it's a part of you, it's a way of life, it's a frame of mind, it's within you. And if you are a witch, believe me, you'll know at an early age. You may not know that it's a witch is what you are, but you will know that you're not, the normal average person. You'll know you're different. You'll know your beliefs are different. You'll know your spirituality is different. You will know. And like I said, you may not quite understand what it is or how it is, but you'll know there's something there. She asked me about hexes. She said, are hexes real? Hexes aren't real. And I'm like, yeah, hexes are real. A lot of people say if you don't believe in it, it can't hurt you. Well, they may be somewhat right, but because you have to, if you believe in something, you're feeding it, so yeah, you're keeping it going. But a hex is, it's a curse or a spell. It's of negativity, and it's usually done to harm someone. And it takes a lot of anger and hate, to build a hex up. So yeah, hexes are very powerful. But like I told her, you can't walk around being scared all the time and worrying all the time, because that's nothing but feeding, negativity right there, worrying about it. Deal with these things as they come, and hopefully they won't come. Just keep yourself protected, keep your area, your space, your aura, cleared, keep everything cleansed, and just stay protected. She asked me if you have to be in a coven to be a real witch, and I'm like, no. Me living in the South, there's no covens around here. The only witchy family that I have is online through social media, and if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have any witchy friends, and which I call them my witchy family, and that's exactly what they are. And a lot of these people I've never met and probably will never meet, but that energy, that vibe. And like I told her, you can practice alone, or you can practice with a group. You don't have to be in a coven. It could be you and a friend. It could be you and an online friend. It could be, you and your pet, your familiar. It has nothing to do with being in a coven. If you can find a coven to join, I say go for it, because there is power in numbers and strength in numbers, and you learn and you grow, and that's your family. But if you can't find that, and you can still practice, don't give up on it, because everything is within you. It really is. And I think the last thing that I ended up telling her was, the one thing I always tell everybody, and it's all intention. Intention is key. And I told her that no matter what path she takes, no matter what belief system she chooses to believe, or how she practices, or whatever she feels drawn to do, whatever path she takes, as long as she believes within herself, if she believes, then she'll receive any intention that she has to manifest. If she simply believes in that, she'll receive it. And like I said, I say that over and over and over like a broken record, but that's key. That's the key to any and all magic, is intention. And like I told her, I said, even when you're trying to figure out what is true and what's not true of witchcraft, just remember the intention, and stay positive, stay positive, trust in the goddess, remember that everything you need is right here within your heart, and as long as you believe, you will receive. And I hope someone out there got something out of this. And If you like this video, I would greatly appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. And until next time, much love.